Messiah, the last Adam, represents a new race of people. These are the people who have been saved from sin. Where Adam failed, Messiah succeeded. Those who belong to Messiah through faith belong to the new humanity he created. 2 Corinthians 5, verse 17. Ephesians 2, verses 14 through 22. As substitute, Messiah acted in our place, whereas representation emphasizes Messiah's relation to the race. Substitution stresses his relation to the individual. He experienced as substitute the suffering and death each person deserved. Substitution is implied in such references as 2 Corinthians 5, verse 21, Galatians 3, verse 13, 1 Peter 2, verse 24. In thinking of Messiah as substitute, however, his oneness with the Father must be emphasized. Messiah is not a third party who comes between Yahuwah and humanity to absorb all the punishment Yahuwah can inflict. Substitution means that in Messiah, Yahuwah himself bears the consequences of human sin. Yahuwah reconciles people at great cost to himself, not at cost to a third party. Images of atonement. To describe the meaning of atonement, New Testament writers used images drawn from different areas of experience. Each image says something important about the execution stake or cross. No one image, however, is adequate by itself. Each image needs the others to produce the whole picture. Number 1, atonement and ransom. Ransom is an image drawn from ancient economic life. The picture is a slave market or prison. People are in bondage and cannot free themselves. Someone comes and pays the price, provides a ransom to redeem those in captivity. The New Testament emphasizes both the fact of deliverance and the ransom price. Yahushua said that he came to give his life a ransom for many. Mark 10, verse 45. Paul wrote, "You are not your own, for you are bought with a price." 1 Corinthians 6, 19 through 20. Compare 7, verse 23. Peter declared that you were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, but with the precious blood of Messiah. 1 Peter 1, verses 18 through 19. The main idea in this imagery is rescue from bondage through the costly self-giving of Yahushua. Number 2, atonement and victory. In this imagery, Hasatan, the head of evil forces and the arch enemy of Yahuwah, has humanity in his power. Messiah is a warrior of Yahuwah who enters the battle, defeats the devil, and rescues humanity. This conflict motive pervades the Gospels: Matthew 4, verse 1 through 11, Matthew 12, verse 28, Mark 3, verse 27, John 12, verse 31. The warfare between Yahushua and Satan was real, yet divine victory was so certain that Yahushua could say in anticipation, "I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven." Luke 10, verse 18. Victory imagery is also prominent in the epistles. For this purpose the Son of Yahuwah was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. 1 John 3, verse 8. Messiah came so that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is, the devil, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. Hebrews 2, verses 14 through 15. That Messiah triumphed is clear. And having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it. Colossians 2, verse 15. Number 3, atonement and sacrifice. Not surprisingly, the atoning power of Messiah's death is often expressed in terms drawn from Old Testament sacrificial practices. Thus, Messiah's death is called a sacrifice for sins. Hebrews 10, verse 12. And a sacrifice to Yahuwah. Ephesians 5, verse 2. Messiah is variously identified with the Passover lamb. 1 Corinthians 5, verse 7. The sacrifice which initiates the new covenant. Luke 22, verse 20. And the sin offering. Hebrews 9, verse 14, 25 through 28. Sacrificial imagery is another way of expressing the costliness of Messiah's atoning work. It is a continual reminder that divine love has assumed the shape of the cross or execution stake. Galatians 2:20. Furthermore, sacrifice witnesses to the effectiveness of Messiah's death. Through it, sin is forgiven. Ephesians 1, verse 7. And the conscience is cleansed. Hebrews 9, verse 14. Number 4, atonement and glory. In much of the New Testament, the glorification of Yahushua is associated with his resurrection and ascension. John's good news, or gospel, shifts perspective. The whole life and work of Yahushua is a revelation of divine glory. This glorification climaxes in Yahushua's death on the cross. John 12, verses 23 through 24. John 13, verses 31 through 32. Consistent with this theme is the emphasis on the cross as lifting up. This verb has the double meaning of to lift up on a cross and to exalt. The meanings are combined in John's gospel. And I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. This, he says, signifying what death he should die. John 12, verses 32 through 33. Compare 3, verse 14. John 8, verse 28. The meaning is not that Yahushua was glorified as a reward for his death. Rather, it means that divine glory was revealed in the death. He died for sins. And we must remember the John 17 priestly prayer that he prayed for us. Hallelujah.